Isn't motivation something you want? Discipline is something you need. Obsession is something you have to have. I'm going to show you what I wanted, how I got it, and how I was obsessed to get there. All right, episode 1, we've gone back and forth on this for a few times and couldn't decide what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do a little bit of like talking head, then do podcast episodes with guests. But I decided I'm just going to go all in just on myself here. That's what I'm doing this for. And it all started back in 2024. Back in 2024 was a big year for me. I started putting myself in different rooms around different people. And I realized at that point, like, the ceiling's not as high as it was. And these people are looking at different. They started raising the floor. Like, the benchmark of where they are on the floor was different than everyone else. Everyone else wants to skyrocket, break through the glass ceiling, set new heights. These people are doing something different. They started setting their floor a little bit higher. So like the benchmark where they were starting was already halfway to the ceiling everyone else was trying to reach. So what I wanted to do was better myself. And I'm like, I got to do some self-improvement. So I went down the journey. 2024 went great. Started improving myself, better habits, creating non-negotiables, setting like a mission statement for myself, expectations. And then 2025 hit. And honestly, 2025 kicked the shit out of me. Financially, mentally, emotionally, any way you can get beat up, I got beat up that year. And honestly, to come out of the other side was like, just the skies just opened up for me. And 2026 rolls around. And I don't know if it's because my birthday is January 7th. I was turning 40, but I remember like the minute the year turned, and I'm not a new year, new me kind of guy, was like, boom, like it was just like, nope, here we go. Like burners got turned on. And I'm going all in. Now, 2026, we are about 4 months in. I've accomplished more in these 4 months being dialed in and finally learning about myself than I have in the past 2 years. Literally 4 months, I've done more than I did in 2 years. But I think those 2 years taught me lessons, taught me things that I didn't know about myself that I knew I could withstand and grow from. Like, I know how to handle situations different. I know what's important. I know what moves the needle for me and what doesn't move the needle for me. Already this year, I have my book finished, ready to be published, starting my podcast, personal branding, the construction company's picking up speed. We got all A players in the construction company. I can't complain of where 2026 has been, but it's experiences that got me there from 2024 to 2025. And I want this first episode to be a little bit about me. There's a few reasons I'm doing this personal branding. One is because I need to become vulnerable. I realize my weakness is vulnerability. I'm a sweep it under the rug, shut up, work harder, thick skin, nothing bothers me. I never have an issue kind of guy. I don't open up. And I'm not talking about crying on someone's shoulder or laying on a couch at a therapist, but like just putting myself out there. I have a story to tell, which I'll get into a little bit later, but I do have that authority now. I've gone through hardship, and what I thought was just normal for everyone else wasn't just normal for everyone else. It's my own story. It's my own journey. It's what's molded me to be the way I am. Second thing is a lot of loss in my life. Between like my mother committing suicide at 11, my dad never being around, my grandfather passed away. He was my role model. My grandmother unexpectedly passed away. My aunt, who came through like breaking her neck, like she suddenly passed away. Like I feel like I have very little family. And the worst part is like now my kids who are 16 and 14, I'm looking back at this. I'm like, they don't have much to look back on me on. Now, once they have kids, I'll be forgotten. And I'm like, there's no way that's going to happen. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to allow myself to be forgotten. So I'm like, I got to create something tangible. I got to create a legacy. I got to leave something behind. I want my kids to like remember me. I want my grandkids to be able to pick up something that, granddad did. I want my great grandkids to be looking back and say, that's my grandfather, and I can prove it to you. That's what I want out of me leaving everything behind. Like when I leave this earth, I want 1, people to remember me, 2, me to have impact, and 3, for me to walk out or crawl out of life. I don't want to walk. And everyone's in this like path of life where they're just kind of getting by day. I'm the type of person where there's a spot empty on my plate, I'm going to fill it. And I'm going to have impact every single day. And you'll see another video where I talked about it. And it's a really cool quote I heard where like a small change to the masses is just as important as a big change to a few. And I don't care where I leave the impact. I don't care if it's to the masses or it's just to 1 or 2 people, but I'm going to leave something behind. And by putting myself out there and being vulnerable and creating an environment and a platform that does that, I think I'm doing my part by helping someone else out. I had no mentor. I had no one guiding me through hardship. I had no one to lean on. I had none of that. Looking back at it, I could have had someone, but it was a mentality I didn't have to learn I can do that. So I want other people to do that. Another quote I heard is, if you want to know what's on top of a mountain, ask someone on the way down. That's what I want people to come to me and do. If I've been up there, ask me. I want you to get to the top. I'm beyond competition. I'm at collaboration at this point in life. And I think having my own platform and having a little bit of freedom to do that is going to allow me to do that. And the really cool thing about it is, like, I don't have to follow the lead on clients here or customers or subs or, co-relationships. Like, this is just me. You're going to get the real me. And there's going to be days where I'm like, you know what, you suck. Just work harder. Shut up and work harder. And there's going to be days where it's like, no, you need to take a break. You need to, pedal back. And everyone's in a different season. A few days ago, I was at the point where, like, I haven't missed a day at the gym all year. And the other day, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to sit at home because I feel like I've neglected some other stuff. I'm going to tend to that. And by tending to that, made me a better person. Made me perform better that day because I didn't have the stresses of having to make the gym just to meet a criteria that I'm putting out there, not to meet accountability to other people. Was I there for those people? Yes. Do I feel like people are messaging me and reaching out to me with my sauna talks or whatever it is and saying, hey, you're inspiring me, you're motivating me? Did it suck me missing the gym that day for those people? Might have. I don't know how much of an impact it is. I don't know if one person, 50 people, 20 people, or just my family are going to watch this video. But the point is that I'm putting it out there and I'm being held accountable by other people that are holding themselves accountable, which is great. But that day I took off, it was for the better. So those are one of those days where shut up and work harder don't fit. But like I said, those 2 years of learning who I am has really dialed me in to allow me to take those days off because I know what I can handle, what I can't. The second day I didn't miss because I know the way I am. I missed 2, missed 3. I go down a rabbit hole and bad habits start again. So I refuse to do that. And I want people to follow me along and say, like, I relate to that, or that's helped me through a hardship, or just watch my journey. That's all it is. It's like just watching my journey and see what I do day to day. Another cool thing about what I've learned about myself is I just don't care. I don't care if one person does this. I don't care if 10 people do this or follow me. I don't care if 1,000 people follow me. My thing is I'm doing this for me. When we do the podcast, a lot of solo episodes, I'm going to rant about a lot of shit. Then I'm going to have guests on, I'm going to have people on that interest me. I have people on that I think I can have a good conversation with. And that's part of the reason I'm doing the podcast, because I can't have a conversation, which snowballs into me being vulnerable. I'm putting myself out there online, on camera, having conversations that I suck at having. And with that has helped me to grow a little bit more as a person. And as I do 10 episodes, 30 episodes, 40 episodes, 100 episodes, I'm just going to get better and better. And there's so many people scared to become vulnerable to get better. And I don't know what people are scared about. I was talking to someone about social media and they're like, oh, I could never be on camera. I don't want to put myself out there. I'd look like an idiot. To who? The 3 followers you have? I don't know why you care. You're doing something for you. So this first episode, I want everyone to get to know me. I want everyone to know I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'll help other people be accountable. I want to motivate people. End result is to have my construction company, to have my business solutions company, but I want to speak at events. I want to be in front of a crowd and inspire people. I want to motivate people. I have no PhD. I have no great high school diploma with straight A's. I don't have anything like that. I have me. I have life experiences, which I think pays dividends 10 times more than any piece of paper you can get from a school. Life experience will kick you down, pick you up, kick you down, pick you up. And it's getting through those hardships when you're sitting especially as an entrepreneur, when you're sitting at dinner with your family, you're out at a restaurant, everyone's ordering something nice, and you're stressing, am I even going to make payroll? Am I going to be able to pay my bills next week? Today cost me money more than it made me money. It takes thick skin to live like that day to day for years on end. It's not like one day, it's over and over. Out of 30 days, you're thinking in your head, do I have enough to survive tomorrow? 20 out of 30 days on average, that's what you're thinking. And if you're not thinking that, you have bigger problems. That's a funny thing. Everyone's like, oh, but once you get to a certain point in business, the money problems go away. I go, but now other problems come about. Now you're dealing with like personal problems of like employees, of teams, of relationships, internal issues. Like there's no winning all the time. You got to take the small wins one by one and stack them up. And sure, they'll always be outweighed by the losses, but they feel so much better because you chose to go through those losses and those hard times and those days you didn't want to get up to have that win. You earn that win yourself. And with that, there comes a sense of accomplishment. And with that accomplishment, you start looking back and learning about who you are. And then as you learn who you are, you start to realize, I do have authority. And with that authority, you want to start giving back. And that's where the, competition versus collaboration came from. It's like I started looking back at myself. I'm like, I ate shit so many times. Why does someone else have to? I'm comfortable with myself. I don't need to compete with someone else because I'm not competing with you. I'll relate myself with you, but I will not compete with you. I'm well beyond that. If you want to compete with me, have at it. But I'm going to be that guy with my head down, shutters on, looking at my own goals. If I see someone fall along the way, I'll help pick them up, but I'm not going to race the person beside me. And when I said like I relate to people, 4:15, the reason I get up that time every morning, I took like 10 people I look up to. So I think you need to pick up habits of people you want to be like, or you want to follow in their steps to be there because they have a proof of concept. And I figured out what time they all wake up. And I took the average of that and it worked out to 4:30. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. I need an extra 15 minutes a day. Do the math. 15 minutes a day over the course of a year. How much extra time do I have to catch up to them? And that's why I chose 4:15. There's no special like secret formula to be successful. It was what I needed to do myself to become the person I want to be. To follow suit and follow the path that's already beaten by people ahead of me of where I want to be. Do I want to be them directly? No. Do I want to be exactly like them? No. But I could see where they are today. They've gone through hardships and terrains that are hard to climb over that I want to avoid climbing over. And as I get closer to the top, like it's just going to get more and more dangerous because now I'm no longer following, now I'm chasing. And when you start to begin to get closer and closer to your goals, like you move faster. You think it's an uphill battle, but it feels like a downhill battle because you start thinking like, I can do this. Hey, I've accomplished this. I've finally like done this. Hey, it broke through and it worked. And you start to move a little bit faster. And that's where I feel like I'm at now in life is I have so much on my plate that it's crazy. I sustain it every day. And the people around me can vouch for that. I have like my book ready to be published. I'm starting my podcast right here, right now. I have my construction company. I have my business solutions company. I'm a father. I still have my daily habits. I hit the gym every day. Like I know high performing people look at that and say that's an everyday life. And there's people that look at that and say, how the hell do you handle that? I want to be in the room with the people that say that's just every day. That's just average. If I'm at my like breaking point and my limit and I'm in a room around people that say that's average, that's the room I want to be in. Because from there, I know I can keep moving forward. Because if that's their average and they've got beyond that, I can get beyond that. But if you're not in that room, people can't fathom how you get past that. Because you're high performing at that point. There's nothing to compare yourself to. The road's ended. You've hit a roadblock. Everyone's like, hey, you do so much. You think you've hit like a limit where it's like, yeah, I do a lot. When realistically, like there's more to do. You're just in the wrong room. You're at the wrong starting line. You're at the wrong race. And then you move up. You get to that other room and everyone's like, that's average. And you're like, so what do you do? And they're like, I do this, this, and this as well. How do you do that? And that is a key point is like when you get into that other room, it's not like I want to get there first. You're okay to ask, how do you do that? Because that's the collaboration I was getting at. So this whole episode, this is a little bit of everything you're going to get. You're going to get a little bit of me, you're going to get a little bit of my mindset, you're going to get a little bit of like what I talk about, what I'm interested in. Even with the podcast with guests, I'm going to talk to people that like do stuff different. They might not have a morning routine, but they might take their business in a different direction. They might have a morning routine and that's defined who they are. I want to know how that's defined who they are. I'm going to have guests on here that I just interact daily and we're just going to banter back and forth. It's kind of like, hey, what do you know about me? What do I know about you? What do you think of me? What do you think about you? Because the key point is like, stop listening to everything around you. Just do you, be yourself. You want to get into that next room, you're going to lose people behind you. But don't listen to them. Just move yourself into that next room. Move yourself to that next goalpost. And just stop listening to the noise. Forget it. Literally, it's called forget the noise. I want people to do stuff for themselves. Do stuff for you. Be proud of yourself. And accomplish more and more and more. So every episode that we get into, this was a little more heartfelt, I guess. I'm going to say it was a little more sentimental, a little more vulnerable. But what I would like to do going forward is I'm going to have topics that, resonate with me. I'm going to hear quotes. I love reading. So I'm going to bring up stuff I read about, research I've read about, what's relatable in the world. Guests I'm going to have on are going to be people of interest to me or friends I have or people I've done business or related with. And this whole platform is based around me. There's no specific avenue we're going to go down. There might be a month where all you see is self-development. Then there might be a month where it's all business. Then it might be 2 weeks of fitness and 2 weeks of business. And honestly, that's the way I'm going to run it because this is my platform. I'm excited about it. This is a passion project for me. No one's going to guide me in a way that I don't want to go. And I think that's why it's going to be successful. That's why it's going to be helpful. And that's why it's going to be resourceful for people because I'm going to talk about relevant stuff that's real. I'm not going to just come up with a topic to fill time and fill space. I respect people's time. So if you're taking the time to watch this, I'm going to make sure it's, purposeful. I'm not going to have people just listen in just to support me. I'm going to make sure you get something out of every episode. So we're down. Episode 1, cleaned up. Episode 2 coming soon. Excited about this Forget the Noise podcast.